Thank you so much, Father Papi Alain Mikli, for coming onto my channel. And most importantly, I guess, clearing a lot of things up and really getting your side of the story with everything, and also sharing your experience on Legendary and your experience with the house and everything. So thank you again so much for coming on, baby.
Thank you for having me, Valerie.
Yes, yes,
It's a
yes.
pleasure.
Right? So let's get right up into it now with Alex coming onto my platform, sharing his experience with Alain Mikli. Since then, he is no longer in the house, correct?
That is correct.
And why is he no longer in the house?
I think after talking to the overall Father Kenny and overall Mother Katrina, we just kind of felt that the way he presented himself representing the house just wasn't what we were wanting as a house to be what we were known for after Legendary. Mm-hmm. Legendary was such an amazing opportunity for a house like Alain Mikli, who's kind of looked at as like an underdog, or some people may even forget about us at times. We're not like as big a house, like quantity wise. Mm-hmm. So we're not at every single ball. We're not, coast yet. Mm-hmm. So this platform has kind of allowed us to sort of reintroduce ourselves. So Legendary was such an amazing opportunity for us, and we couldn't pass it up. So for us to get that far, we kind of wanted to take that and let it sort of rebrand us and put us in a more positive light. And it just seemed like it wasn't represented correctly.
Right. And to let other people know, as well as your house know, and even Alex know, is there any malice, ill intent, negative feelings towards him at all?
On my behalf, no. It doesn't serve me to be upset any longer. It doesn't upset me. It doesn't serve me to, retaliate in any kind of way. Right. At this point, he said what his truth was, and out of respect, I'll let that be. But I feel like for my house, being a house father on the show and also being a Kansas City house father, I wanted to have an opportunity to sort of, I wanted to have an opportunity to really paint a different picture than what he did. Right. If that makes sense.
No, that makes total sense. This is why it was so good when you, because you made a post on Facebook, saying like the situation, how it was kind of like blindsided for you, and I was like, well, let me just show you the what the proof was with how I contacted you guys, and it all became clear, and I think it was important for me to have you on to share your side of the story and your experience. So with not talking about it any more longer, we discussed that. It's no ill will feelings towards him. May Alex have a successful ball career and whatever he decides to do, and he's just no longer a part of your establishment, which is totally fine. And now let's just get into some other questions about your experience on Legendary. Now,
let's do it.
Right. How did Legendary approach you guys? How did you guys become on Legendary?
Well, my Midwest father, my Midwest father, Will, he informed everybody that our house was considered for season 3. Mm-hmm. And so from there, he sort of picked people that he thinks that would want to do it, one, and that two would represent the house in, the space that Legendary offers, which, are mostly dance. Mm-hmm. So we wanted people that were, able and willing and were able to really represent the house in the form of Vogue and dance in the way that, Legendary sets it up. So
I'm glad you said that, because, basically telling everybody in future houses that if there's a 4th season, pick members that can Vogue and do multiple things that, so.
Yes.
Yeah, that was good. Thank you for sharing that. And then with that being said, how did the house decide to pick? Because I know that at the time, Alex was in the house and you guys were both on Legendary and you guys are both fathers. How did Legendary decide to pick who was going to be father and who wasn't going to be a father in the house?
So to be honest, I never went into the Legendary situation like wanting to be the house parent of the team. If I was, then I would have been honored, which I was. But if not, it really wouldn't have made that big a deal for me. I just wanted to do what I could to represent the house and really show what talent our house has to offer. And then also being from Kansas City, Missouri, which isn't like a big ballroom city. It's not a very well-known ballroom city. A lot of people really don't even know that we have balls there. We have been having balls for quite some time. And so being the first person on that platform to represent Kansas City, I really wanted to do that as well.
Another question I wanted to ask you about Salvin, Miss MC Deborah. Have you talking to her after your guys' exit from the show?
I myself haven't talked to MC Deborah due to certain conditions.
Right.
Socializing just isn't something that she's able to do like she normally does because Lord knows everybody, she embraced everybody and was very social with the entire community. But unfortunately, at the time Legendary happened, she's not able to really socialize as conveniently as she normally does. So I personally haven't talked to her, but I know Summer has talked to her and a few other people in my house, and they've definitely relayed the message that she's very proud of the house that she, founded, and that she really loved everything that we brought to the runway.
Okay, sounds great. Next question was, episode 1, do you guys think you guys completed 5 elements of Vogue in your performance?
Yes, we did actually. I believe we represented all of the elements. Maybe the spin dips weren't so pronounced simply because we all kind of did them at different times. So because of post-production, things are edited out where they get, shots of the judges, shots of the audience. And, so during the performance, you don't see every single step. But we definitely incorporated all 5 elements into the performance.
So with that being said, is it safe to say that production edited it in a way that it showcased you guys not showing the 5 elements?
I wouldn't say it was purposely done, but due to editing, a lot of the stuff that people probably would have seen and known that we brought the elements, a lot of that stuff just kind of fell through the cracks, I guess.
Episode 3, were you disappointed in Sparkle not landing the 360?
No, not at all.
Okay.
I'm very proud of Sparkle. Sparkle only being less than a year into ballroom, she's learning her elements and learning how to put them together. And anyone that Vogue knows that, the elements are one part of it, but then there's also the cadence of your performance. There's the character of your performance, and there's the actual element of performance. So she's really on her way to becoming like a Vogue master, but she's in the beginning stages. Everybody started as a virgin. Everybody started putting these elements together and learning who they are with their Vogue. And Sparkle is also a professional dancer. So for her to learn something as complex as the 360, it could be dangerous doing the 360 and, one slip up and your ankle's gone or your knee is gone or your leg is twisted. So for her to dance professionally, when she goes home, she has to make money and she uses her body to, dance and make money. So for her to put herself out there and take that risk for us, I'm proud of what she did. Naomi only said that she was just too high. She didn't say that she didn't do the 360. She just said it was a failure because she wasn't low enough for it to actually be her version of the 360 dip.
Well, but that is the 360. You have to be low, and it is like a pancake flip. So technically, she didn't do the 360. And I'm just thinking, in hindsight, would you have picked somebody else to do the 360, or was she the perfect candidate to do it?
I think she was the most confident in herself to do it. When we first came up with ideas and was first, forming our performance, Alex stepped forward to do the 360. Summer stepped forward to do the 360, and Sparkle. Me and Nuno kind of knew that wasn't going to be something that we were going to be capable of doing. So we just let them decide who was going to do it. And at some point, Alex said he wasn't comfortable. And then at one point, Summer said she wasn't comfortable. So Sparkle was left, and she said, you know what? I'm just going to do my best, and I'm going to give it all I got.
Okay.
And I'm proud of her for doing that and doing it on national television where you're going to get all these critiques and people are going to pick you apart. So
Right.
she put herself in that light, and I can only respect her for that.
Yes, and then I also want to shout out to Summer. You did a great job. Just because you didn't land that element doesn't mean you are not a good Vogue Femme performer. And even for other Vogue Femme performers out there, because you can't do a signature move that somebody else has, doesn't mean you're not a good Vogue Femme performer. So shout outs to you, Summer, and everybody else that Vogue's Femme. Next question. Episode 3. Do you think Summer deserved to lose the battle with Machiavelli?
Absolutely not. It was definitely a very heated battle.
Mm-hmm.
As we can see now after seeing the next 3 episodes, the Machiavellis, when it came to getting in that battle zone, no matter how many times they had to go in that battle zone, they definitely fought their way to be on the show still.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely give respect to the House of Machiavelli. A lot of the members that were on Legendary are like ballroom battle cats. So that cannot be taken away from them. And they've definitely shown the world that when it comes down to it, they're going to fight for their house. But let's not forget, Summer is also maybe less than 2 years voguing.
Mm-hmm.
So for Summer to get out there and want to represent the house and want to keep us here, she fought for us, and I don't regret anything she did. And I would have definitely picked Summer, but the judges saw what the judges saw, and respectfully, that was who they voted for.
Right. And then are you speaking in a way because you were there live in person, seeing the full battle
Yes.
out? And would you agree with how the final edit took place? Do you kind of see what the judges were saying and as well as what the audience might feel?
Yeah, everybody's gonna feel something different, but naturally, when my house is on the floor, I don't see anything but them. So maybe I was a little biased, but to me, Summer does no wrong, and she's getting out there and she is fearless.
That's right.
And I know a lot of people out there saw that in her. Law himself even said it. So
yeah. Okay, good. I like that. All right, Father. I don't see anybody else besides mine. I know that's right. Okay.
I think any other house parent would agree with that.
I agree. Real house parents. Let's be clear. So, in hindsight, were you guys ready to be on live TV for the world to see your ballroom talent? You as a collective, as a group, or do you think you needed more time?
I think we definitely could have used more time. Mm-hmm. But I think when the opportunity presents itself, anyone that has the sort of passion for voguing and expressing ourselves and having fun with it, this opportunity couldn't have come at a better time. And when the opportunity knocks, we definitely answered. And whether we were ready or not wasn't going to be the question. We definitely went and tried to prepare ourselves as best we could for this competition. Being on live television, it just adds more to the nerves. So, and you even hear that from other teams throughout the show, like, being on TV and the nerves and the pressure sometimes can get to you. So, things will happen the way they're supposed to happen. So I don't regret anything we did on Legendary at all.
Okay. And then piggybacking off of what you just said in that answer, what was the hardest part about being on Legendary for you?
The hardest part for me is my battle with sort of anxiety and stage fright. Mm-hmm. I've kind of battled with that all my life. I talked about it in, my B-roll, and knowing, like, even seeing myself on television, I got like kind of choked up and cringed a little. Like, it's just unfamiliar to me. And then to get the feedback from like random people on Twitter, random people on Facebook, random messages on Instagram, it's heartfelt. And to anyone that I haven't responded to yet, like I see the love and I see the support, and I can only be filled with that now. So it's definitely nerve-wracking being on television and the pressure of being on TV and looking the right way, and, wondering if you're doing the right moves and you look the right way when you're doing them. But after seeing myself now, I can only be proud of myself. And my family and my support system being proud of me only makes it all the better.
What are some of the things that you would like to personally tell your children that were on the show?
Oh, I've already told them, like, on the plane to LA. I told them, this is only the beginning. No matter what happens here, whether we're the first to go home or whether we make it all the way to the end, this is only the beginning for y'all. And really, it's Sparkle and Summer and Alex at the time. It's only the beginning. Like, me and Nunu, we've been in ballroom for a while. I may not be as big a name as, some of the other people, but, the people in my community, in my city, know who I am. And I've done what I can do, but this is only the beginning for Sparkle and Summer. And I'm only rooting for them. Like, I'm the biggest cheerleader for them at this point. Because I want them to, they got an opportunity to be on TV less than a year or 2 years into ballroom, where most people have been in ballroom for 20 years. And now Legendary is on TV, and I'm sure they would want to be a part of it. And they got to do it in the beginning of their ballroom career. So now, with this exposure, you can take this to, like, the sky's the limit.
Right. Okay. And with you mentioning some of your members being in ballroom for like a year, maybe 2 years into it, do you think strategically building a team and going on to Legendary season 4 or 5, if there is one, do you think strategically, would you pick members that are freshly new into ballroom culture?
I think it's good to have a mixture.
Okay.
You want some people that are good and seasoned in performance in Vogue, but you also want to get fresh new talent because they are the future of Vogue, and Vogue is ever evolving. There's things that, if you look at the performance from, the Ronaldo days and back in like 2005, maybe to 2010, performance has evolved so much. It's become damn near an Olympic sport.
Yeah.
Like, they're so acrobatic and they're like Power Rangers. Like, it's evolved so much. So you want to have the best of both worlds because you still want to have that old school, like, voguing like a femme queen essence.
Yeah.
With those elements, like, because, nowadays, it's no shade. They're losing the elements a little bit because performance has taken over.
Yeah.
And performance is elevating. So, sometimes the elements can get a little, mixed
blurred.
up in it.
Yeah, it's blurred.
So, we want to have a good mixture of the energy and the performance of now and the essence and the, the blueprint of yesterday.
Now let's talk about the judges. What do you think about Kiki Palmer replacing Megan Thee Stallion on Legendary?
If they could replace Megan with anyone else, I wouldn't know who. I really enjoyed Megan. So Kiki, I think it was a cute replacement. I like her energy, her vibe. She's very genuine. Sometimes I feel like she may not have known what she was really looking for, but by like maybe the 3rd or 4th episode, I think she got it. So, sometimes I just kind of felt like, okay. But I love her energy, and I love Kiki Palmer, like, as a genuine person. She seems very genuine and humble and, not so caught up in trying to sound, like she knows everything.
Yes.
But yeah.
What one thing would you suggest to the judges when judging a new season on Legendary?
Just take into consideration one thing I would say to the judges is to take into consideration the time and the energy that people put into behind the scenes before they actually come onto the runway. Because, the rehearsals were, rigorous. And then even after, the scheduled rehearsals in studios, we're in these hotel rooms pushing mattresses against the wall and, sweating it out on the hotel carpet floor. So, we really put a lot of thought and a lot of effort, a lot of time and a lot of energy into these performances, whether you think they're amazing or not.
Right.
So just take that into consideration and think about, how it would make you feel if you were on that stage and getting the same critiques that you were giving out.
Okay, so let's just play a little game now. One word to describe each house. First thing that comes to your mind, let's do it. I'll say the house, you say the word. La Beja.
Classic.
We're talking about on the show Legendary.
Okay. La Beja. Fun.
Alpha Omega.
Stern.
Revlon.
Oh, they were sweet.
Machiavelli.
Ooh, hungry.
Yoji Yamamoto.
They were fierce. Yes.
Okay. Demure Versailles.
They were cute.
Okay.
We didn't get to see much of them, so they were cute though.
Okay. Juicy Couture.
Ooh. Genius.
Genius. Love it. Ada.
Fresh.
Light.
Interesting.
Okay. And last but not least, Alain Mikli.
Alain Mikli. Vibrant.
Okay. That's great. And lastly, the last question I want to ask, which I ask everybody that comes onto my platform. I'm all about manifestation. I'm all about bringing stuff into your life in light. What would you want to accomplish in the future? What do you want to do? What do you want to dive into?
I want to cultivate new talent.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I have been around long enough that anything that I want to prove, I've probably already done. So now it's time for the younger generation, those who may be scared, those who may be afraid, those who may have heard bad things about ballroom, or just performing in general.
Mm-hmm.
I want to give them a voice. I want to give them a platform to be able to come to, feel comfortable, and be able to express themselves. Because that's one thing our community as a whole is basically shunned from doing. The way we express ourselves isn't understood by people outside of our community. So I like to bring them into spaces where they can feel comfortable and express themselves to the brightest light that they can shine. So that's all I want.
And also let the people know where they can find you, all your social media links.
Instagram, Papi with 2 eyes, Alain Mikli. My name is Keith Irvin Jr. on Facebook, and my Twitter is also Papi Alain Mikli.
Okay. This concludes our interview for today. Thank you so much again, Father Papi Alain Mikli, for coming on, clearing things up with the whole Alex thing, sharing your thoughts and opinions and your experience on the show Legendary. And best of luck to you, your house, and everything that you want to do in your life and in the ballroom scene. So thank you, babe, for coming on.
Thank you for the opportunity. I really appreciate it. You've been a lovely person to talk to.
Yes, thank you, babe, so much. Mwah. Bye, honey.
All right.